Hello mga ka-JTV, this is Sir Joel of Sir JTV channel. In this video lesson, we will discuss about combined variation. At the end of this video lesson, you are expected to illustrate the situations that involve combined variation, translates into variation statement a relationship between two quantities given a mathematical equation, and solves problem involving combined variation. Huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe at pindutin ang notification bell para updated kayo sa mga upload ko mga video lessons. Pindutin din ang like button sa ibaba kung nakatulong itong video lesson sa'yo. So, let's begin! Okay, define muna natin kung ano ba yung combined variation. Combined variation occurs when one quantity varies directly or jointly and inversely as the other quantities. So yung combined variation from the word itself, ito yung pinaghalo-halong direct, joint at inverse variation. So itong mga variation statements na ito like y varies directly as x and inversely as z, and y varies jointly as x and w and inversely as z ay under sa combined variation. Mapapansin nyo dito na meron siyang direct at inverse. At dito naman sa pangalawa, sabi na jointly at inversely. So, di ba yung joint, direct din yan, direct variation din yan. Pero, it involves two or more variables. So, yung mga variation statements na yan, pwede nating i-translate into mathematical statements. So, ito, y varies directly as x and inversely as z. Di ba sa direct variation, kapag nagta-translate tayong direct variation, minumultiply natin yung other variable sa constant. And kapag inverse naman, dinidivide natin itong variable na ito dun sa constant. So, yung magiging mathematical statements natin dito or equation ay y equals kx over z. Diba direct variation, y varies directly as x, imumultiply natin yung variable sa k. Tapos inversely as z, diba dun sa inverse variation, nasa denominator lagi ito. Itong variable na ito. So, nasa denominator siya. So, pinagsama siyang direct at inverse variation. So, ito naman yung equation natin for constant. So, minanipulate lang natin tong equation na ito. Kaya nakuha natin tong k equals yz over x. So, yung ginawa dyan, minultiply both side ng z. So, magiging yz ito at ito makakancel siya. And then, i-divide ng x para ma-cancel itong x dito at matira lang si k sa right side. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng denominator na x dito. The next one is ito. So, di ba joint variation siya? So, direct variation din siya pero nadagdagan lang ng variable or quantity. So, y equals k xw kasi y varies jointly as x and w, kaya nasa taas yung xw. And inversely as z, so inverse variation, nasa ilalim yung variable na z natin. And yung constant equation natin, ito. So, k equals yz over xw. So, nagmultiply lang tayo both side ng z. So, magiging yz ito, yun siya. And makakancel itong z sa ilalim. And then, divide natin both side ng xw para ma-isolate si k dun sa isang side. Kaya, nakakuha tayo ng denominator na xw dyan. Okay, let's translate these statements into mathematical equations, variation, using k as the constant of variation. So, meron tayong variation statement dito at equation. So, example number 1, t varies directly as a and inversely as b. So, yung magiging equation natin dito or mathematical statement is t equals ka over b. So, it varies directly as a, di ba? Kaya si a yung nasa taas at si b naman yung nasa baba ng equation natin. Y varies directly as x and inversely as the square of z. So, y varies directly as x and inversely as the square of z. So, ganito yung magiging equation natin. So, y varies directly as x. So, si x yung nasa numerator, kasama niya si k. So, pinag-multiply natin yon, And inversely, ibig sabihin yan, yung sasabihin na variable dito ay nasa denominator. So, sabi niya dito, the square of z. So, lalagay natin dito ay z square. Number 3, the pressure P of gas varies directly as its temperature T and inversely as its volume V. So, we can translate that as P equals KT over V. So, P varies directly as its temperature T, kaya si T yung nasa numerator, and inversely as its volume. So, yung volume V natin, nasa denominator siya. Okay? Next, steps on how to find the constant of variation and the equation of variation. So, same lang doon sa mga previous lesson natin, yung steps. So, step 1, write the mathematical statement of the variation. Step 2, find the constant of variation. And step 3, substitute the constant to the mathematical statement. Example number 1. If z varies directly as x and inversely as y, and z equals 9 when x equals 6 and y equals 2, find the constant of variation and write the equation of variation. Step 1, write the mathematical statement of the variation. So, paano natin susulat to? Ita-translate. Z varies directly as x and inversely as y. So, since z, nabanggit na una si z, siya yung nasa left side, it varies directly as x. Si x yung nasa denominator at si y naman yung nasa denominator. So, makuha natin is z equals kx over y. And we can rewrite that as k equals zy over x. Ito yung magiging equation natin for constant. Step 2 is find the constant of variation. So, gamit itong equation na ito, hahanapin natin yung constant by substituting this value. Yung 9, 6, at saka 2. So, we have k equals 9 times 2 over 6. So, si z, di ba? 9 siya, tapos si y ay 2. And yung x natin ay 6. Simplify lang natin. 9 times 2, that's 18 over 6. And 18 divided by 6, that is 3. And step 3, substitute the constant to the mathematical statement. So, nakuha na natin constant, diba? So, i-substitute lang natin itong nakuha natin constant dito sa mathematical statement na to. So, papalitan lang natin si k ng 3. So, ito na yung answer natin. Z equals 3x over y. Example number 2, if P varies jointly as Q and the square of R and inversely as S, and P equals 14 when Q equals 7, R equals 2 and S equals 4, find the constant of variation and write the equation of variation. So dito jointly, so magdadagdag tayo ng isang variable or quantity. So step 1, write the mathematical statement of the variation. So we can write this as P equals KQR square all over S. So, P, siya yung nasa left side. It varies jointly as Q and square of R. So, kasama si constant, umultiply natin yung tatlong quantity na yan. Yung K, Q, tsaka R square. And inversely as S. So, si S yung nasa denominator. So, pwede natin i-rewrite dyan as K equals PS over QR square. So, ano lang natin to, minanipulate lang natin. Kaya nakuha natin yung K. Multiply natin both side ng S para makancel yung S dito. So, magiging PS ito. Yun siya. And we will divide both sides of the equation by QR square para makancel tong QR square dito. At magkakaroon ng QR square dito yung PS. Kaya nakuha ito. Step 2, find the constant of variation. So, gamit tong equation nito, isa-substitute lahat natin yung mga values na yan na 14, 7, 2, at 4 sa mga variables. So, palitan natin si P ng 14, si S ng 4, si Q ng 7, at si R ng 2. So, ayan. I-simplify lang natin. 14 times 4, that's 56. Dito, 2 square, that is 4. 4 times 7, that is 28. So, tandaan na, mauna muna yung exponent na isi-simplify. So, 2 square muna, tapos times 7. So, we have 56 over 28. And, divide natin yan, makuha natin ay 2. So, yung k natin ay 2. Isa-substitute lang natin itong 2 na ito dito sa k natin. So, step 3, substitute the constant to the mathematical statement. So, we have P equals 2 QR square all over S. So, ito na yung pinaka-mathematical equation natin. Okay, example number 3. Roseann found that its number of dress-up dolls sold N. So, didenote natin yung mga nabentang manika as N. And it varies directly with their advertising budget, A. So, didenote natin yung advertising budget nila as A. And inversely proportional with the price of each doll, P. So, inversely proportional siya dun sa price ng mga manika. So, didenote natin siya as P. When 54,000 pesos was spent on advertising and the price of the doll is 90 pesos, then 9,600 units are sold. So, sabi dito, nung gumastos sila ng 54,000 pesos para sa advertisement, yung nabenta nilang unit ay 9,600 na manika. So, yung mga manika na yun ay nagkakahalagang ng 90 pesos each. So, yung question ngayon is, determine the number of dolls sold if the amount of advertising budget is increased to 144,000 pesos. So, di ba nung una, 54,000 lang yung ginastos nila for advertisement. Pero dito daw, what if in-increase natin yung advertising budget nila into 144,000? So, ilan kaya yung maibebenta nilang manika? So, gagawin natin pa rin yung mga steps natin. So, solution, kunin muna natin yung mathematical statement. So, yung number of dolls na nabenta varies directly as A. Diba? So, nasa numerator A natin. And inversely proportional with the price of each doll. So, P. So, inversely P. So, nasa denominator yung P natin. And then, substitute lang natin mga given values. So, si N, diba, 9,600 units sold. Ito. So, mamaya muna natin isolve ito. So, dito muna yung tingnan natin yan. Palitan natin si N ng 9,600. Kasi yung N, diba, yan yung number of dolls na nabenta. So, we have 9,600. And yung A naman, ito yung advertisement. So, gumastos sila ng 54,000, diba? So, palitan natin yung A natin, yung advertisement natin, ng 54,000. And yung P naman, ito yung price ng mga doll. Each doll. So, 90 pesos. Then, simplify lang natin. We multiply both sides of the equation by 90. So, makuha natin ay 864,000 dito sa 9,600. At makakancel lang dito yung 90. And, K times 54,000, that is 54,000 K. And we will divide both sides of the equation by 54,000 para makancel yung kasama ni K. So, 864,000 divided by 54,000, that is 16. So, the value of K is 16. And then, since nakuha na natin yung constant, isa-substitute na natin ito dito sa mathematical statement natin. So, makuha natin ay N equals 16A over P. So, okay na tayo. Nakuha na natin yung equation ng variation. Sagutin na natin ngayon itong tinatanong dito. Determine the number of dolls sold if the amount of advertising budget is increased to 144,000. So, papalitan lang natin itong advertisement natin ng 144,000. Kasi tinatanong, di ba, what if in-increase natin 144,000? So, palitan natin itong 144,000. Tapos yung P natin, same value pa rin, di ba? 90 pesos naman siya. So, ganito makuha natin. 16 times 144,000 all over 90. Simplify lang natin. 16 times 144,000, that is 2,304,000 over 90. And divide lang natin to, makuha natin ay 25,600. So, yung tinatanong dito ay nasagot na natin na kapag in-increase natin ng 144,000 yung budget for advertisement, yung mabebentang manika ay nasa 25,600. Okay, that's all for this video. Sana marami kayong natutunan dito sa video lesson natin. Huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe at pindutin ang notification bell para updated kayo sa mga i-upload ko mga video lessons. Pindutin din ang like button sa ibaba kung nakatulong itong video lesson sa inyo. Hanggang sa muli, paalam!